Well, to talk more about that, we're joined by Dr. Aykan Erdemir, Senior Director at the Turkey Programme at the Foundation for the Defence of Democracies and a former member of the Turkish Parliament as well. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening.
So tell us, is President Erdogan going to use this little-known international pact and block Russian warships from heading to Ukraine?
So this is a demand that Kiev made on February 24th. And after 3 days of thinking, the Turkish government today announced that it will start implementing the 1936 Montreux Treaty, which gives Turkey the power to prevent passage of warships through the Turkish Straits, meaning both the Dardanelles and the Bosphorus. And to clarify this, this would be preventing passage of both warring parties, namely, this cannot just be a unilateral move against Russia. This will have to be a move against both Russian and Ukrainian vessels, with one exception. That is, Turkey will still have to allow Russian vessels originating from Black Sea ports going back to their ports of origin. So that is one exclusion stipulated by the Montreux Convention. So ultimately, Kiev wants this, the Ukrainian government wants this because it sees the passage of Russian ships to be the bigger threat here. So they're willing to let go of their own passage rights if it also prevents Russian passage through the straits. But ultimately, this is not going to be a game changer, but it shows that Ankara is slowly being forced to take some action, given it hasn't taken any punitive action whatsoever against Russia up until this point.
You say slowly. Do you think President Erdogan would prefer to keep a neutral stance in this conflict?
Actually, Turkey's fence-sitting policy has been continuing. At the rhetorical level, Erdogan has been quite vocal, criticizing NATO for not taking any concrete action. But since the beginning of the invasion, we have seen both NATO and the European Union take quite decisive action in the form of sanctions and closing of airspaces. But up until now, Turkey hasn't joined in any of the sanctions, has not implemented any punitive action, and keeps its airspace open, one of the few countries in Europe that remains open to Russian airplanes. So it seems Turkey will continue the balancing act. Ankara already dedicated itself to opposing any sanctions against Russia and voted against Russia's suspension from the Council of Europe, abstained in the vote, in the Council of Europe vote to suspend Russia. And it shows that the Erdogan government will feel the need to walk a tightrope when it comes to its relations with Putin's Russia.
Dr. Aykan Erdemir, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me.